My emotions erupt, shots make me run. Let's win, I'ma have to plug. Life is priceless, if you try to take mine, leaving motherfuckers cold as a crisis. With a technique as old as ISIS and mics as my control devices. Or do I gotta get involved with some niggas?
What's up, boy Shad Goodie, coming to you live once again. It's week 9, and you know what this is. This is the tape. Well, coming off a bad week for the beloved, Vikings were able to skeek out of Soldiers Field with a victory of 23-20 against the Bears. So this week, Sean Fox is loading up the troops, heading out west to take on Phillip Rivers and the San Diego Chargers. So we're definitely going to look at this matchup, figure out who comes out on top. Offense. So far this year, the Bears are right now scoring 20 points per game, led by probably the most efficient play we've seen from number 6, Mr. Jay Cutler. Now this week, and going forward, we're going to be with that Matt Forte, Mr. All-Purpose himself, over 725 yards all-for-purpose yards on the ground, plus 3 touchdowns. He's not going to be in the backfield, so step up, next man up. Jeremy Langford, rookie out of Michigan State. This guy can fly. Now he's not an in between the tackles type of runner, but if you can get him outside isolated against linebackers or safeties, he can make you miss. So you're going to definitely be looking at a lot of more burden to be loaded on the shoulders of Mr. Alshon Jeffrey after last week's most productive game of the season. Eddie Royal might not be there, so we're expecting Martellus Bennett to get a lot of action in the slot, as well as I'm expecting big things from Marquise Wilson this week out of the second receiver spot for the Bears. And when you look at the Chargers, speaking of the passing game, this is the most prolific passing game in the NFL as of today, led by, right now, the most elite quarterback in the business outside of Tom Brady, Mr. Phillip Rivers. Right now, over 2,200 yards in the air, 18 touchdowns. And the most crazy part about it, he has a 66 quarterback rating. Now, that's elite stuff. This dude is absolutely in fuego. So when you look in the outside, they've had a big loss on this week's too as well. With their number 1 wide receiver, Mr. Keenan Allen, going down for injury for the rest of the year, they're going to be looking to balance out their offense with other different pieces. When you look at Stevie Johnson coming in from the number 3 slot to the number 1, it's a lot going to be put on his shoulders. But they also have some versatile guys. You're looking at backfield, rookie out of Wisconsin, Mr. Melvin Gordon, as well as Mr. Danny Woodhead. These are guys that can catch the ball out of the backfield, as well as tote the rock. But you're going to look at Phillip Rivers, and the simple fact that the offensive line is also depleted. Mr. King Dunlap, your best tackle, probably won't suit up this week. So definitely there's going to be some sacks to be had if you're the Bears defensive ends and outside linebackers. But all things considered, when you look at both teams, both line of scrimmages, as well as both coaching staffs, I'm going to go offensive advantage, Chargers. Defense, when you look at both of these teams, starting off with the Bears, they're giving up about 28 points per game. Not really well. But you look at in between the game, for 3 quarters, the Bears make teams one-dimensional. Now, Vic Fangio's done an absolute good job keeping teams consistently at bay, or at least at their averages. Now, with that being the case, you're looking for some guys to step up. Playmakers are not in the secondary right now for the Bears. When you look at Altrell Rowe, as well as Tracy Porter last week, 2 of the worst games that I've seen as Bears DBs in a long time. And these are your veterans. Kyle Fuller got on the board for the secondary's first interception last week, so we're hoping that they can build on it. But that front 7 is definitely lacking some pass rush. And with Parnell McPhee still dealing with a knee injury, you're hoping that somebody else can step up and make a play. As of right now, the Bears are yet to find that outside threat to be able to get to the quarterback. But this week, they're definitely going to have the opportunity to do it against a depleted San Diego Chargers offensive line. As for the Chargers defense, this is a unit that's missing 6 of their top starters on that defensive end. Then when you're talking about their best playmaker, Mr. Eric Weddle, he's coming back this week from a groin injury. If he's on the field and he's healthy, this is a guy that you want to keep an eye out on. Because Jay Cutler, when you're talking about one of the best safeties in the league, ball hawk, Mr. Eric Weddle's that name. Then you got Jason Verrett over there on the outside, so he's be matched up one-on-one with Alshon Jeffrey most of the day. So you're going to be looking at a lot of 50-50 balls. And Mr. Verrett, there's nothing to be toyed with. But all things in consideration, when you look at both teams being able to stop the run and making teams one-dimensional, expect a lot of passes. So the team that can make the most plays in the passing game or make the most defensive stops on 3rd down and get off the field, that's who's going to have the advantage. And based on this week, I'm looking at advantage defense, Chicago. Special teams. Well, let's look at the kickers. Starting off for San Diego, you got Mr. Lambeau. This guy has a huge leg. I'm talking about a guy that will be able to kick 60-yard field goals, but at the same time, his accuracy has been tested for a young kicker. Their return game is pretty average. Right now, their starting field position is about 35-yard line, as well as they're only in a 20-plus yards in return. So what that basically means is they don't hurt you. Now, when you look at the Bears, you got Bobby Gold, one of the best in the business, as I always like to say. However, Mark Mariani, Mark Mariani. Not much is needs to say. I'm not sure what's going on with the Bears special teams where they can't find another opportunity for another returner to get in there, but they need to look at it this week because they're absolutely getting nothing from the field position standpoint. So with that being the case, I'm going to give a slight edge, special teams, Chargers. Intangibles. Intangibles, you're looking at two teams with 2 wins. Now they're both looking at the situation where they're going backwards as opposed to forward. But the Bears, we kind of expected this to be kind of a rebuild year. Now, when you look at the situation as it is, John Fox so far has had a great record against the Chargers personally. He's 7-2 against these Chargers, led by Phillip Rivers. Now, a lot of that is predicated on the defensive and offensive talent that he had in Denver. Adam Gase also is familiar with this team. When you're talking about offensively, his offenses have put up over 30 points per game against the Chargers. That should bode well for Bears fans. So expect a lot of play action, a lot of spread for 4 wide for the Bears on offense. Now, from the defensive side of the ball, they're going to have to contain Phillip Rivers. If they can't get to Phillip Rivers early and often, as far as sacking the quarterback or making him rush out of the pocket, because he's not really mobile, he's going to kill you. Expect 40 passes or plus from Mr. Phillip Rivers, and if he's completing passes and continuing the drives, they're going to have to be stout in the red zone. And so far this year, the Bears are 25th overall as far as red zone defense. So overall, you got to hope that the Bears can make some plays. And it's going to have to be done by the linebacker position. Mr. Christian Jones going to be matched up with Mr. Antonio Gates all day. Hopefully, Christian Jones can step up to the plate. If the Bears can win a lot of one-on-one matchups on the outside, Mr. Flowers has been horrible, defensive back for the Chargers. So Marquise Wilson, put your big boy pants on because they coming at you all day, son. So when you look at this matchup, you look at the prediction, I'm going right now with the outcome. Bears 28, Chargers 24. If I'm wrong, wouldn't be surprised. However, this definitely should be an exciting game on Monday night. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. As well as I'm looking forward to see you guys check us out at Shot on Sports Monday night. We're going to have a live in-game thread, so you know coming in and talk your junk. As well as you can catch me on Twitter for the play-by-play as well. Once again, you can catch me on Leon's Locker Room in the mornings between 8 o'clock a.m. Check me out on WGCI. Shout out to Leon Rogers. Also, shout out to Next Level, one of the best production men in the game. Salute, my guy. And also want to give us a big shout out to all the people that support the Shot on Sports movement. We're going to keep moving, guys. All right? You know where to catch me. If you get licking the shot from your boy, don't forget it. Crack the grills open as well. It was a good week of football, so let's go ahead and get this week cracked off on a good note on Monday. So this has been Shot on Sports. Catch you next week. This is the tape.
Where have you been all my life? De Niro. You make me stay on my grind. Many times, therapy.